Yes, everyone's dropping back in.
Yes.
We have some 15 seconds left until all rooms will be automatically closed. Some technical issues, but in general, was it working if you respond in the chat?
Yes, it worked well.
Excellent. Too short, of course. You will have plenty of time to discuss in smaller groups during the course, so also in the upcoming webinars, but I know.
Shall I share the Padlet again?
Yes, please do.
Okay. So let's see. Where is here? And I'm sorry. We just realized that I didn't allow anyone to write, so we just have comments here. But we have people that know about course, have a lot of experience in online course. We see people who works as a teacher in instructional design, use online learn. Some of us, we have students and also teachers and online learns. Let's see. We also have, I saw in some place that there are some people with no experience, which is very nice. When I took the course as an open learner, I also have no experience, and this is great because we can be amazed with Discord. But there are also people with pressure experience, which is very cool, and it allows us to add some knowledge to our PBL group. And I hope you could use the Padlet well, and also Maria will leave the link to this address in our presentation. So if you wanna, you can come back to this presentation later. I will stop to share my screen.
Thanks a lot, Danielle. And as I wrote there in the chat, it will be very interesting to come back to this Padlet at the end of the course and to see what you wrote there and how did we talk about these things, etc., during the course.
It's true.
Okay, so now we can look at the PowerPoint again to see what we were talking about. We will wait for a little bit to have the guided tour of the course site, and instead we will look at this next thing. What would you like to take home after the course? And again, we're doing a Menti, and over here to Gregor.
Hi everybody, I'm Gregor from Oldenburg, and after we now collected some information on how much experience the individuals have in our group, we would like to ask you what your expectations are. And for that, please go to the chat. Maria has already posted what I was going to post, the menti.com page with the code 183954. Maybe we can also share the PowerPoint where the code is on, I believe, no, yeah?
But I think it's better to not share the PowerPoint if people want to go in there.
Okay.
Maybe you can share a screen, Gregor, to show the results in a while.
Yeah. I will check the... I'm looking for the link.
Yeah, and I wonder how we can see the results displaying.
I will share the screen. I'm struggling with the screen sharing thing. Bildschirm freigeben.
That sounds very good, Gregor.
So this is the result as it is forming while you're all adding your hopes and expectations. Fun seems to be very stable. Network, experience, knowledge, and collaboration to get ideas and inspiration. And that's precisely what we will try to give you. Good technological skills, learn from others' experience. But as you see, the center of the cloud is rather stable. It's about collaboration, networking, knowledge, and inspiration. We have 70 people now contributed, and I guess we're almost done.
Some people have put more than one word in, because we're 68 people here and we have 79. That's
I
great.
left it open because
Yes.
I'm hoping that people have more than one expectation.
Yeah.
Excellent.
You can let it run for a while, but I think that will also be a very interesting piece to look at the end of the course.
Mm.
Looks stable, so I'll stop sharing and would then turn over back to Maria.
Yeah, thanks, Gregor. And as well as the Padlet, this word cloud is something that we will save and share it with you, so we can have a look again later. Okay.
Jörg, how are we doing with course site? Is it coming on?
We are good. We seem in Karlstad, we seem to have a slightly problem. I have one colleague here who is with us from Karlstad who had also troubles, and the course homepage was for a very short time down. But I think this is up to back to normal now again. So I can go on and have my demonstration if you want to.
Please do.
Shall I?
Yes.
Then I will share my screen and give you a quick run through the course homepage, which you should see on your screen right now. If some of you cannot, Lotta and Maria, which I see right now, you see the Open Network Learning course homepage now.
Yes.
Excellent. And so we've posted on the topic of getting started 2 videos on how this site works. So hopefully, and we obviously do see most of you have found the spaces where to be at, but I have some updates and some particularities which I wanted to update you on. So you see the main course homepage here, and the main menu, which you see the overview and the subheadings. At the bottom of the page, you can subscribe to email updates, which a lot of you have done already. So keep on doing this. For those of you who have not done this, you will get email notifications if we send new posts here, new course news. And the most important part, or like 2 important parts, one is the community space, which I show now, which you need to log into, and most of you have done this as well. So you log in here with your credentials, and then you come to the ONL 192 community space, and it's great to see so much activity. So many of you said hi. Please keep on doing that. It's fantastic. What you could also do here is get an overview of all members. You said all you want to network. then many of you said you want to network, here's a great space to start just that. And by clicking on the members and see the faces and get to know each other and get each other's contact details, which you can, if you click on the top right corner on your little icon here, you can update your contact information. So please do this. Please also, similar here in the webinars, it's nice to see faces. It's very nice to see a picture of you here also in the community space. Here you can also change your profile photo and your cover image, and you can also update your password. Should you have forgotten your password, then you need to write me an email, or Lars, or any of the course organizers, as we have problems with sending out emails at the moment from the system. So if you've forgotten your password and you cannot access and log in, please do send an email. And if you have any questions at the moment, please write something in the chat so we can answer them right away. Then I'll go back to the community space. What you might have seen here already, I don't know if it was in the video, if you write a post here and you can have a title up here, testing news things, and you write something here. Hello, this is great. And what you can do here is choose a category. This will be good if we want to find your topics on your post later. So don't forget to say take a category. If you click on control, you can choose several as well. The facilitators and co-facilitators can make posts sticky as well, so that they show up in the top left corner always and don't go down the stream. So this is just something here, and you see my post does not turn up here in the top left corner. It will show up underneath here because those two posts are pinned. All right. Moving on, if you don't have questions regarding this, this is to this space all registered participants have access to. All PBL participants, open or institutional participants, all facilitators and blog facilitators and other former facilitators of the course really who will help us in some form or the other have access to this space. Independent learners, which are not part of the PBL groups, still want to participate in the group. They do not have access to this site. For those participants and for connecting outside your group, outside the community platform, we have a place on the main homepage, and this is about your blog posting. On this site here, we will gather all your individual blog posts. Many of you have connected your blogs already, and this is awesome. Really, really good to see that. I think more than 50 of you have connected their blogs. If you wonder why your blog post not showing up yet, we haven't set this up yet because we wanted to wait until we know which PBL group you are part of. So during this week, we will make sure that all your blog posts come up, and once they are connected, and I show you if here on connect your blog, or you can go this way, all blogs connect your blog. Here you leave the your address of your URL of your blog and send this away, and then we'll set it up that whenever you write a new blog post, a copy of that post will be collected here under this page. And this will be a great way to interact and connect to others. You will then quickly be able to go individual blogs, and then you can leave a comment here. And this will make a great way of connecting to others and network and learn. and share experiences and knowledge. All right, where are we? Back to the community space, back to you, everyone, unless you have a question or comment. There's some things dropping in here, at least to me privately. No, nothing. No questions. All clear. Keep on what you're doing. It seems like you're doing great, and this is somewhat somewhat self-explanatory. One thing I forgot to show, which is brand new, is if you go to one of the PBL groups, you will only see your own PBL group and the main community here. And if you're a facilitator, you also see this group. What you will see here also, which is brand new, is submit your PBL group work. If you click on it, they will get this message. At the end of the week, you will have a form here where you enter your PBL work, in whatever way you presented your group. Awesome. Comments to post. Can't see the comments. PBL groups 5 and 10 cannot see the comments. Okay. So I'll go there just to see. So if you click on show all comments, you don't see the comments, like me? Is that the case, Diane? And if you click here on show all comments, you're not seeing the comments? And that's for everyone in PBL group 5 and 10, or is that something? Okay. In cases like this, there will be some hiccups, most likely. Please send me an email, but also write down what your browser is and what your system is, how you tried it. And before maybe you email, try it with a different browser. Try it with in an incognito window, for instance, because it is apparently working for a lot, but so it's hard for me to fix or look into it. If I get the indication at least that it's on an individual basis. Yeah, and everyone, and Stefan, yeah, you should see in which PBL group you are. And once you log into, I showed this way quickly, and before we move on, if you log in here, ONL 192 community space, you get to the big community space where everyone has access to, and then on the left-hand side, you should see your PBL group. Okay, and like, it's great that you write something in the chat now. If you have trouble, please email me so I can follow up on this better and get back to you. And if you've emailed me already, then I'm really sorry. There's there's the one or the other email dropping in at the moment from various people. So I try to do it as quick as I can. But again, try other browser settings, do a refresh, maybe a hard refresh in your browser, and see if that makes any difference. All right, thank you.
Okay, so I think now Lars and Maria.
Yes, I will share the PowerPoint again and hand over.
Maria, I can share.
Okay.
It's better so I can show.
Yes, yes, of course.
Okay, hey everyone. So good to see that so many have joined us in this this introductory webinar. I would like to say a few words on the pedagogical design of ONL. I think you all have noticed that we are using problem-based learning as a basic idea and approach for the course. On the homepage under About ONL, you can read a little bit more. You have some references also to problem-based learning and also network learning about pedagogical design. And I think you also have on this week's page connecting at the bottom, you also have two resources about problem-based learning and then related to more problem-based learning in an online environment. Suppose you all have heard about problem-based learning, and maybe also many of you have worked with problem-based learning, and most likely it's in a physical setting, campus. So as a way to view problem-based learning, and I would like to use this model as a colleague of mine and me writing it in 2008 as a way of a little bit challenge the way problem-based learning has been described as a method doing some steps in small group. So what we'd like to highlight with this is to show from our point of view the processes that are involved in problem-based and collaborative learning. So with problem-based learning, the core of the learning, one of the most important learning processes that creates motivation and is the inquiry into a reality-based situation. So somewhat you start also always in the real world problems and address them. So with the inquiry comes everything like asking critical questions on what do I see here? How do I understand what I see, and how do I make sense of things? So it's about asking questions, critical questions. And with that inquiry process, like it's a problem-solving process in general, that's quite often why it's also described as some steps. But I think that problem-solving process quite often does not look like steps. You have to go back and forth between different things to deeper into your understanding.
Sorry, Lasse, but your sound is not that good.
Sorry.
I don't know if you see the comments in the chat. Is there anything you can do?
Turn off your camera, maybe. See if that works better, even though it's...
Can you hear me better now then?
Yes.
Because I'm actually sitting on a conference sitting on Wi-Fi, which was very stable, at least to begin with. Okay, so back to this onion model kind of. So the core of the learning process is inquiry, and with the using a problem-solving process as a method kind of. But I mean, you also have this as a goal to be good to and explain and understand the situation, and also to be good at developing your problem-solving skills. So with that in the core, you also have the inquiry into your own learning process. The self-directed learning process means that all the questions that you raise, you also must refer it to your own learning, your own understanding, and see, okay, what do I need to know more about and how can I find it? And so anything from the questions all the way to some kind of where you have looked at information and make some conclusions and bring that back into the reality-based situation. So here it's also a lot of learning to learn, understand and handle and assess your own learning process. And then it comes with the working together aspect, next layer of onion. Because viewing the two inner parts here, we know that learning is a social activity and a collaborative process for it to be also challenging and meaningful. So working together here with this and do the inquiry together collaboratively gives so many more dimensions to the learning process. Here also within this course, it's about to understand and handle teamwork. How can we develop, how can I understand that in an online learning environment? And then the outer layer, we have inquiring into thoughts, feelings, and action. It's kind of the more metacognitive level where you still hear me, yeah?
No, actually, Lasse, the sound is bad, but I guess you're at the outer layer of the onion, so the onion is almost kind of finished. Or?
I'm so sorry about that. It looks on my computer that I have good connection, but can you hear me now? It comes and goes, or?
Yes, it comes and goes. Right now I can hear you, but it comes and goes.
Yeah, but Lotta, can you take over then, just the fish model?
Okay. We use a simplified model for this investigation that we do in problem-based learning called the FISH. F stands for focus, I stands for investigate, and SH stands for share. So when you get the situation or the scenario, that's what we used to call it, scenario. When you get the scenario, that's a problem that is a real problem or a real situation. You read through it or you look at it. It may be a picture, it may be a text, and you discuss in the group, what is this? What do we see here? How do we understand it? Are there any words or difficult issues that we need to find out to begin with, just to understand properly what it is about? And from there you discuss in the group, what do we know about this? What do we not know? What do we need to find out more about? And then you specify what you need to learn more about, learning issues or intended learning outcomes even. And from there you go to step 2, the proper investigation, where you you can discuss in your group what resources do we have to do this. There will be resources provided for each topic, but there will also be in the group resources because each and every one of you have a lot of experience from different areas that may be used. And you can also go out and find resources, because there are so much to find on the internet or through the internet. So what can you find? And when you have collected resources and read text and so on, decide in the group, what do we think is interesting? What do we want to propose as a solution to the scenario that we started with? And then you go to the next step, where you decide on what do you want to share with the rest of the group. What was interesting to you? It doesn't have to be you can decide on a very small part of what you have found that you found super interesting and share that with the groups. Or you may want to share an overview of an area that you found interesting and decide on how you want to do that. Actually, I see that it says, what do we want to share with the FDOL community? This is a really old picture. FDOL was a predecessor of ONL, Open Network Learning. But decide on what you want to share with the group and how you want to do that. And then towards the end of each topic, you share with the other groups some sort of presentation. We have seen presentations come in many different forms over the years. Could be text, could be a video, could be a sound recording, could be a Padlet, could be anything basically. We've had newsroom readings, and we've had all sorts of things. So, and then when you have presented for your own group, go and look at what the other groups have done. Find inspiration, comment, give feedback to the other groups, and you'll get feedback too on what you've done. Yeah.
Sorry about the bad connection here. I tried to move around in this place with a laptop. So thanks, Lotta. And in your PBL groups in the Google Drive folder, you have some further guidelines. There is a template for the fish process. So please try to use this and adapt it in the way that you think you can work with it. So each PBL group needs to find your own way of working with the fish document and the model. Because it should not be a straitjacket. So you need to discuss it and try it out in different ways.
Okay, thanks. So maybe Lars, while you're sharing screen, you can go to the next slide. Now we are about to wrap up this welcome webinar. So how do you get started? The last week was actually about getting started on a more individual basis, familiarize with the environment, etc. So look at that page. If you haven't done everything yet, you can do it now. And the PBL groups, they open up today, as we have already seen when Jörg showed the course site. So it's really important that you can jump into your PBL group and get started. And as a task for this week, you should do a presentation of your group and share it with the ONL community. And we really look forward to see all those presentations by the end of this week. And at the course site, it's an overview with scheduled events. It's almost complete now, still missing a few webinars that will be added because each topic will have a webinar with sometimes an invited guest, sometimes it's the ONL team. So a few remains to be scheduled, but they will be there as soon as they are scheduled. And yeah, we're really looking forward to these webinars. And we also have some tweet chats. And both the webinars and tweet chats, we consider them kind of optional. It's not something you have to do because the core is kind of the PBL groups here. But these webinars and tweet chats, they are selected and assigned to support your learning in the PBL group and support your learning around that topic. So it's good to be there. But if you're not there, you can also watch them afterwards. Any questions about anything in this starting up this ONL course? And you can either you write in the chat or you unmute yourself and speak.
I'll just say thank you.
Okay, thank you, and thank you all for joining.
Yeah.
So
excellent.
nice.
Yeah, sorry.
No, I was just saying it's nice to see so many people here.
That's what I exactly wanted to say. It's fantastic to see 65 or so participants during the webinar. I think that must be one of the record highs, at least very high up there. And I'm really looking forward to that. This is the 10th iteration, as we maybe said before, and of the course, and the activity in the ONL community space really makes me spend all my time on this course. Unfortunately, I cannot spend all my time on the course, but I'm really looking forward to spend a lot of times with you guys and learn from and with you and during the next 12 weeks. So warm welcome to the course once more.
Yeah, a question here from John in the chat. How will the optional meeting times for PBL Week 1 be integrated into one PBL project? Well, I think your facilitators will try to facilitate this process. Because we know that it's difficult to find meeting times where everyone can participate with kind of short notice when it is for the first week of the course. So you have to do your best, and in many cases I think it will be like the same meeting with the same content happening several times to catch as many of you as possible. But we'll all do our best.
And then work synchronously in online meetings and work asynchronously outside Zoom, and mail each other, use the Google Drive tools, use the community space, your PBL space, use the tools which work for you, and well, get out there and make it work for you guys and have fun.
And keep an eye on these spaces. You can get email notifications, as we've said, but keep revisiting, because if you don't, you're going to miss stuff. We're not going to be emailing you. In fact, we're doing a little bit at the moment, but that's going to stop. And then it's all on the communities.
And remember, just one more last thing about the technicalities with the email alerts. You need to do one for the big site, open-networklearning.se, one for your PBL group, and one for your for the ONL 92 community. 3 separate ones if you want to get email about everything. So don't forget that. Cool.
Okay, so we've passed 2 o'clock, so we should be wrapping up and let people go back to whatever you were doing before or whatever you're planning to do afterwards.
Yeah, so let's stop the recording, I think, and then